best gift ever. Very useful. I never considered to buy it, but now I buy it because it's really very convenient. It doesn't take. No, 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 no.
تيست مايك. أصحاب المعالي والسعادة الأخوة الصحفيين
Our dear journalists, welcome and the end of the agenda of the UPU for the Extraordinary Congress. First, I would like to thank your attendance for this conference under the sponsorship of the custodian of the Two Holy Mosque, King Salman, and that continues for 5 days, where we hosted more than 190 countries and more than 30 ministers and more than 1,500 participants here in this conference to develop the postal sector. Today we are in the 5th day at the end of this agenda of this conference, where we host the General Director for UPU and His Excellency, the head of Subul, and also the Vice President of UPU, and also the head of conference, Ms. Jihan Said. So now we will start with an opening statement with His Excellency. Peace be upon you all, and welcome everyone. In the beginning, I would like to extend my thanks to the custodian of the Holy Mosque, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, for his sponsorship for this conference and his fourth edition. And also, I would like to thank His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the Prime Minister, for his support for the postal and the logistic service sector, where we have witnessed a lot of development in the kingdom on a daily basis to be as a logistic hub in the world. And also I would like to thank UPU and also Mr. Mituki, the head of UPU, and his deputy, Mr. Rafal, for and all the members for their trust in the kingdom and allowing to opening this and hosting this conference in Riyadh. And also I would like to thank them for this strategic partnership that extended more than 100 years for cooperation and mutual work to enhance this sector. And also we were pleased to host more than 30 ministers and 150 CEOs in the postal sector, and more than 1,500 participants from different parts of the world. And also we have feel the satisfaction of the organization and the preparation for this hosting, whether here in the conference and through its sessions or with the accompanying events during the last 5 days. And we attended the sessions and we enjoyed the visit of Riyadh and also attending the strategic summit for Postal in 2023 that define the features of the UPU. And also we are proud with the success of this edition of the conference that hosted by the Kingdom and headed by the Ministry of Transport, where women enabling is one of the targets of Vision 2030. And we are pleased and proud to have a lot of female leaders that represent our country in different events around the world. And one of these Ms. Jihan headed this conference, and her teamwork and headed these sessions and this UPU 4th Extraordinary Congress. And also it had led it with all the professional in all professional manners and help to the success of this conference. And here I would like to take this opportunity to thank her. And also I would like to ask her to talk about the outputs of this conference. Thank you, Your Excellency. Actually, I was honored by the election state members to be the head of this conference, and this shows their trust in the kingdom and also in the Saudi women. The most important decisions in this conference to opening up the doors of UPU for the states through the link between the local operators and also the effective parties. And most of these decisions were coded after conferences and to be referred to the Riyadh decisions or Geneva decisions or resolutions. And we were keen that in addition to Riyadh resolutions, to call it Riyadh solution, because countries will not agree on this resolution, and it was a difficult resolution and it has been discussed since 1999. And when they decided to approve it in Riyadh, we decided to call it Riyadh solution, because always the solution is in Riyadh. And one of the biggest or the most important resolution we have approved in the conference to increase the budget of the union. And the budget cap did not increase this since long years, and all the member states agreed to increase this cap because they believed the importance of the UPU and also its role and also the need of the countries for the services that UPU is providing. And also a lot of important resolution as well. Among them is to have the form of product and services with different features like tracking, and also other important resolution that consider as a roadmap for upcoming steps. And also this is an extraordinary Congress because we are discussing urgent matters, so it is in between two terms, and this conference is held into every 4 years because urgent matters we have discussed, and all of these resolution has been approved with simple modification. And thanks to Allah, Your Excellency, with your leadership and with your support, the Congress was very successful in all levels. Thank you, Your Excellency, and thank you, Mr. Jihan. Now the floor is open for the Vice President Murjan Asfal.
Members of the media, good evening. I'm happy to share that our efforts here in Riyadh have been fruitful. I can confidently say that this extraordinary Congress will be one for our history books. This week we discussed topics that were so important they could not wait for the next UPU Congress, which will be held in Dubai 2025. These topics were critical to the sustainable future of the UPU and our single postal territory it has nurtured over 1.5 centuries. As members of the United Nations family, we have a duty to do all we can to ensure the achievement of the 2030 Agenda for the Sustainable Development. This includes concrete action to fight climate change. In Riyadh, UPU members found consensus on a set of voluntary targets that aim to reduce our sector's impact on the environment around us. We have established a plan to develop a climate facility that will support members in this transition. It will require the generous extra budgetary support of our members, but I'm very happy to say Saudi Arabia has already pledged a contribution to this effort. Here in Riyadh, our members confirmed their support to the UPU. They recognize the contribution of our work to the development and evolution of our sector. In addition to our deliberations, we had the opportunity to hear from leaders in the postal sector, ministers, postal regulators, and CEOs during the UPU Strategy Summit. We have taken note of their views on the purpose and future of the postal sector as we developed our next World Postal Strategy for 2026-2029. We also heard the voices of the future generation, the winners of our international letter writing competition for young people. We hope that the future we are building together meets their expectations. Before I close, I want to extend my sincere thanks to His Excellency Saleh bin Nasser Al Jasir, Minister of Transport and Logistics Services, as well as his team, for their hospitality and dedication to make this Congress a success. Our delegates worked long nights, but your teams worked even longer ones. Without you, we would not have found the path for the future. With that, I close my remarks. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
المساحة الآن لكم زملائي شركائنا في القنوات الإعلامية الصحفيين فاللي عنده سؤال يتفضل.
Please mention your institute. Peace be upon you. I'm Hazem from Riyadh, the newspaper. I would like to talk about the opportunities of growth of the sector that has been discussed in the Congress. What are the most prominent recommendations? What do you think, Your Excellency, in the postal companies around the kingdom? Do they need development? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hazem, for this question. Yes, the most topic we have discussed to opening up the UPU for membership for the postal companies in private sector, and this is to enhance the role of the UPU and also to increase the level and the value of what they provide for all the member. And in regard to the status of companies we have inside the kingdom, and also the service providers, I am almost biased to what Subul is providing, and we are developing in our journey, and we start harvesting all these support that that we have received in Subul to enhance its services and also to wide up its clients. But we see the competition level in the market is very, very high, and also we have a lot of service providers, and we see that this competition will enhance what we provide as service provider for our clients in public and private sectors. So we have a good competition, and we see good future, and it will be developed and improved for the importance and the logistic services sector, and with the need of the kingdom to achieve the indicators and the output of the Vision 2030. Thank you, Your Excellency. Second question. Peace be upon you. Naif from Medina newspaper. First, I would like to congratulate you for the success of this Congress. We have seen a great effort, and we follow the media where they highlighted this Congress a lot. And our question is about one important point. We always hear that there are recommendations and resolutions, and some of them may say that these recommendations are kept under the tables and are not reflected. So this our question. Will it reflect the development of the postal services, especially under the Vision 2030? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Naif, and thank you for your congratulations. And also, we would like to thank our colleagues who work during the last months, especially last week, in the organization of this Congress, and also the Saudi delegations who participated in this Congress, and also to the decision making we have witnessed in this conference. Your question regarding the results of these recommendations, of course, once it has been issued, will go into implementation, and us as a member of UBU, we have role to follow up these recommendations that we participated in, and of course it will have an impact on our performance and our contribution, and the impact is different based on the recommendation, but in general it will reflect it positively on the performance of the postal services and the logistic sector in general, and we will see it will be translated to the kingdom when they top up the ranks of the logistic indicators index. Peace be upon you, Ali from Sky News Arabia. I'd like to direct my question to Mr. Jihan. In the beginning, what does it mean to you when you are elected as a head of this Congress? And also, what are the most prominent resolution that has been chosen? And as the General Director of Policies in the Ministry of Transport, what are the biggest legislative achievements in postal services? Thank you for your question. Of course, the topic of the election, the kingdom is elected its candidate, and I'm very, very pleased and honored where the kingdom chose me. And also the election of the member as to fulfill the desire of the hosting countries, and it is a great responsibility as well. And of course, I should be pious, as the kingdom has its own decision. Of course, as a Saudi woman, of course, I want to fulfill the kingdom desire, but of course I have to at the same time listen to all the different opinion, because this Congress has its own rules and has its own regulations, and also some of the documents required to refer to certain mechanism when if the member state ask for the secret election. And so there are a lot of procedures, and the head of Congress must be impartial So of course it was a difficult mission, but when we love things, of course you do it in the best way possible. Regarding of the policies and legislations of this sector, of course, it's a vital sector, and the kingdom is trying to be a international logistic hub according to the agenda, the Vision 2030. And since we are in the center of 3 continents, and one of the aspects that will help the kingdom in this matter is legislation. All the investors always ask about the legislation. How do I have a commercial log? So the legislative environment must be motivated for the investor. And during the last period, the resolution of His Excellency the Minister, the general policy for the postal and dividing the partners, and its bylaws, and there are works on the GCC level and on the world, like this organization, that these legislations and policies must be in alignment, and we cannot be aside from the world. So since the shipment is from point A to point B, so the legislation must be aligned. And also we are working on the logistic sector laws, because the postal is an essential part of the whole ecosystem of logistic services. Thank you, Mr. Burgess. Peace be upon you, Burgess from Makkah newspaper. I have 2 questions. The first one is, I would like to know about the aspects or the main aspects that help the kingdom to host this Congress. And also the second question, in English he's speaking. سؤالي هو خلف مجال أو مفهوم الذي نتحدث عنه.
When are we going to see drones to deliver the last mile in all, parcel deliveries? Okay.
أنا أخذ السؤال الأول.
السؤال الأول.
حياك الله.
الله يحييك.
طبعا المملكة تقدمت برغبتها بالترشيح تقريبا قبل سنة ونص.
For a year and a half, and of course you must provide submit your file, and we were honored to win this occasion with what we provided of enablers and tools for the success of this Congress of this size. And thanks to Allah, we did what our best, and I believe all our guests and participants who visited the kingdom and this Congress has a great impression about what the kingdom is able to do to host such events, and this is the first time the kingdom winning to host such an event. And also we were honored with the patronage of the custodian of the Holy Mosque, and thanks to Allah, today at the end of this Congress, I believe that, and I am sure that all our guests who will leave Riyadh today will be living comfortably with a feeling, with a good feeling and good impression about the kingdom and about Riyadh, not only inside this hotel, but also we gave them an opportunity to visit different sites in Riyadh, and also to participate in the atmosphere of the kingdom, and also a lot of things that will make them return again to the kingdom as soon as possible in different occasions. And regard of drones, and if you allow me, I would answer on behalf of you, if you allow me, please. I believe technically we have two kinds of challenges, legislative and in terms of technology, and each of these challenges we are working to address them. The part about technology is regarding of the weight of these drones and also the drones, because they have different kinds, and I won't talk about details. There are challenges that must be addressed to avoid noise pollution and not affect security. And regarding legislation, there are overlapping or the need to cooperate between different entities, and we are building them on certain use case. What are the benefits behind providing the service, and we find the appropriate legislation. And I can share with you that in Hajj season we have a successful experience that Subul provided with the Ministry of Health, with high cooperation with different entities to transport blood samples inside the holy site, and it was a success, and we have seen a benefit of these experiments and to resolve challenges. And of course there will be continuous cooperation for the legislative challenges, and hopefully as soon as possible, when we provide this service, we see other than drones, we'll see other means, the autonomous vehicles, and also we'll see the technological services, the advanced one, once it's appropriate to provide the service in the kingdom, whether citizens or residents. Thank you. Now with the last two questions. إذن بالنيابة عن بالحديث عن درونز، أولا الاتحاد
enabling international exchange of parcels and letters. So usage of drones is not our mandate, but we have three councils, and we cooperate with private sectors through consultative committee and consultative council, and the members of that council are private companies, and one of the private companies who is actually developing drone technology is coming from Japan. So we have interest in this topic, but it's actually not our mandate, if you understand. The framework of UPU is exchange of international mail. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you for the question.
السلام عليكم. أمان العجلان باحثة اجتماعية.
I'm a social researcher. We know that today the kingdom is living in a rapid changes in all levels, but especially in logistic sector because of our geographical site and because it link between the west and the east world. So how can we see the future of the post industry among these rapid changes and the international laws, in addition to our own laws that we are changing, and how this industry has an impact on our young people for the next generation. And also I'd like to conclude to congratulate you on the success of this Congress, and this is of course will be added to the other successes of the kingdom. I'm going to answer this question. Thank you, Mr. Mani, for your question. Of course, the first part of answer to answer this question, I must rephrase what do you mean by post today. I believe that the stereotype we have on post that it's an envelope that has stamp and it's a tool of communication. This kind of post, because we have other technological solutions and more comprehensive, is fading gradually, and also the transformation we have adopted in Subul is a transformation because the post is providing a logistic platform, not for communication. And I believe that this change to change from the Ministry of Telecommunication to the Ministry of Transport and Logistic Services, and you can see it in the commercial feature in Subul. And this is the first point, and as you said, that the kingdom now, according to the vision 2030 and its requirements and outputs, is placing an interest for the logistic sector as enabler and supportive for a lot of sectors that the kingdom need for the economy, and to provide all the service that depends on the logistic services, and also to benefit from the geographical side of the kingdom, because it's in the center of 3 continents, and you see it in a lot of advertisement. And each week we listen, we hear of a new project that in the logistic service, and I am one of the people who is new for the logistic sector, and I'm learning every day. But of course I see that the sector in the past wasn't taken care of as much as we needed, especially in case of developing young people, male and female. And today I see a rapid change and a desire and a passion from our young people when we see different companies, a transport company or delivery companies, and a lot of services, logistic services, and also an educational level where we have the Saudi Academy of Logistics and even university to invest in our young people, male and female, to have a database. And we hope that we depend on them to raise this sector. And thank you for your congratulations. And of course, it's a big success for our country, and we are very proud of it. Thank you. Welcome. I am Isa from Sabaq newspaper. As it's the message of the post service. Today we want to know what is the main challenge that were even difficult for the Congress, and also would like to hear from them their experience and their tours and visits, and what their impression about the kingdom and since this last week. And my question to Ms. Jihan, you talk about the effective parties and the operators, the local operators. What do you mean by the effective parties? Mr. Isa, thank you for your question. Actually, there is not a difficult challenge we cannot address. Everything can be addressed with the support we have from our wise leadership, especially in logistic sector. If there is something that I want on a personally, which is a challenge that we all live in, on the level of the use, and to use the national address, and to have to make it part of our nature and our uses for all the service, and to access and to be among the our identity. And from this platform, I would like to share this opportunity with there are a lot of services with the national are accompanied with the national address to facilitate the benefit and its use, and also to interact with it with the partnership with all the bodies and the logistic companies, and also the different stores to benefit for the communication, to access for these places. And this is the more we use such a feature, the more positive impact we will have, and also for its sustainability as well. And also I would like to invite you to activate the national address, and I hope that all of you registered in our national address and use it and to visit you at when you invite me to your house. I hope you use your national address. And as a challenge, I don't see any challenge. Maybe that time is the only challenge we are facing, and we would like to make the day as 48 hours to achieve more and more. But in regard of the challenges and obstacles, all of them we are able to overcome with the support we have received is helping us to be more prepared. شكرا على هذه للجميع. أولا أريد أن أعتذر.
Actually looks like really after singing many songs like Japanese karaoke. But actually it's a proof of these 5 days of exciting and intensive discussions. First, I would like to actually to congratulations of the success of hosting of the Kingdom Saudi Arabia, and also would like to express my deep gratitude. Excellent coordination, very wide range hospitality to all the member countries, and also really we had a very wonderful Madam Chair. Actually, it's one of the really excellent success story of our even the UPU history. And also would like to stress not only just really the same example of hosting country, actually the big changes of substantial presence of the Kingdom Saudi Arabia in the UPU discussion. Honestly to say, Saudi Arabia is an influential country, however, from the UPU world, usually very calm, not so positively request the floor. However, this Congress, Kingdom of Saudi representative request the floor, and also would like to stress really the new initiative in the climate change. It's a really very successful story. And one said it's actually so-called Riyadh Initiative for Climate Change. I believe it is also under the very respective patronage of Majesty, and also the really frequent presence of His Excellency Minister of Transport and Logistics Services. So I believe I convinced once Kingdom of Saudi Arabia decided to positively participate in the UPU world. No doubt, in a few days, you will get a very important position and one of the be a positive as a country, member countries in the UPU. And finally, it's also the good question for the future of our industry. Not only seek the really beneficial business point, really the press from young lady asked really for the young generation. It's also very important. The industry must be charming to the young generation. It's also the key to also related to the climate change in this initiative. I mentioned my dream, postal industry, be not only the logistic organization, but also the real organization core to SDGs. We will use all the real electric car, rechargeable energy, and also the post office might be a basis for the real to expand SDGs. And I believe Saudi, by this initiative, certainly to be core member countries expanded and together with the UPU. Thank you very much. Actually, very excellent and successful Congress. Really, thank you very much for your kind coordination and success.
بالنسبة للشق المتعلق بالأطراف الفاعلة بالقطاع المشغل
the local operator is the company that providing the postal service on behalf of governments. So in the kingdom is simple. In other countries has different names. Like in Britain it is Royal Mail, and in America it's USPS. And each company is providing these services, and to perform the comprehensive service as a right for human beings to have the parcels in any part of the world with reasonable prices and with reasonable time. This principle, since its establishment, that it's essential right for the human being to communicate with other, and of course it has been developed. So the local operator is the company that is providing the comprehensive service on behalf of the governments. The effective parties is something else, not the local parties, like the NGOs, like the private sectors, educational institutions, other parties, but not the local operator. Thank you. Now we can conclude with the last question. Good evening. I am Khalid Al-Harthi from Jazeera newspaper. First, I would like to congratulate you the success of this Congress. And my question, in brief, the resolutions that we have seen in the Congress, how could benefit the private sector? Thank you for your question. Maybe the opportunities, the direct opportunities will help the private sector, will allow them the opportunity to participate in the union, and also to have their voice, and also to participate in the decision making as well. And this is the general frame, and of course all the changes that raise from the results of the resolution from this Congress and its implementation, there will be a role in private sector and also the designated operators in all countries. This is second opportunities to participate in. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, our journalists and media, and we'll see you on other occasions. Thank you.